Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. We are really happy to have you here today. Of course, this is Bear's Basement, and we're going to be doing ourselves a little bit of role playing. Of course, coming into episode 2 of the Moonshea Isles. This is going to be an interesting campaign as we go forward because this one is a little different than the ones we've done before. As you know, we are letting this be completely player driven instead of having a linear story. So that should be fun. But welcome, guys, and happy to have any kind of those. They tell me those subscriptions and those likes are important, so I guess you could hit those. But really, what we need you guys to do is hit that share button and let your family and friends and extended community know what's going on, so they can come over here and join us because we are live streamers. Do also check out all those links we have down below, and yeah, so. Guys, we're going to be diving into episode 2 of our D&D campaign here. How you feeling?
Ready to go, man.
Good. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. And
Did everybody level up?
I hope so.
Oh crap! No, I forgot we did. I forgot we leveled up.
Yeah. Got to add a little bit of the this or that, which will help you because we are dealing with werewolves and they're a little bit stronger than you are, so we got to get there. But
A little.
a little bit, yeah. I will give a summation to where we've got to here momentarily, but first I just want to chat with the guys and see how they're doing. So, Bill, how's your day going, man?
Oh, it's good now. It's totally good now. I'm glad to be here and hanging out with my D&D brethren.
Awesome. I see we
Ready to
just lost
roll.
Bob, and then Bob's back. No, we lost Zach, and then Zach's back. I see. Bob, you back from your break yet?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, how you doing, dude?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
I see you got this little setup on the bottom. You got your hat on. You got your nice rig. We can see you down here on the bottom of your scroll. That's pretty nice.
Yep.
Sexy. Very good.
Yep. Trying to work things out here.
Trying to be fancy. Much fancier than me.
Yep.
I see you got a little bit of Resident Evil there on your hat.
Yep. That's an old gamer hat I picked up a long time ago.
Sweet, dude. Now, how are you running this through your stream with the having your picture and scroll on the bottom there?
I've got these just some graphics I made. This is a what you call it, a PNG for the fade here, and that's just in OBS. You can just set up text. It's and then you could just tell the text to scroll across there, so it's just going behind the fade.
No. I just it's interesting you're using Streamlabs to come through your Hangouts to come through my Streamlabs. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, there's an add-on you can get for Streamlabs, called Virtual Cam, and it literally takes whatever you've got set up on your Streamlabs, and that turns that into your camera. So whatever your camera broadcasts, that's what it broadcasts.
Awesome. There you go. That sounds cool. And looks like you get yourself a piece of art here, all worked out. That's nice.
Yep. Temporary placeholder till I finish the one that I'm working on.
I see. No, that's good. That's good. We want to have a little bit of art because we are trying to do kind of a visual story, storybook type of thing here. I mean, in general, this is a radio show, and we are kind of just doing a radio thing. But having a little bit of art and that storybook thing going on, I think is a cool way to do it. We could go with something like foregrounds, and we could do that, and I could easily stream that over. But that involves everyone buying the software and getting it, getting on board and stuff with it. So it's a little more of a hassle, I think.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I've
is
got. I bought one of those. I bought that. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it now.
yeah,
It's the one
foregrounds.
that
I think it's
everybody.
called. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, the one that everybody uses. But yeah, you're right. It is expensive though.
It is, but it's cool though because it's
Mhm.
real time, seeing how people are moving on the map and stuff like that. But then again, it's also a lot more work on my side too, though, because you have to
Yep.
do literally set up every little map and monsters put in every place and etc. etc. This is a little easier on me, I would say. But anyway, thank you for coming, Bob. Hello, Zach.
Hello. How are you?
I'm
How's
doing well.
everybody?
I'm doing well, and we're gonna go try to save Lacey. Hopefully, her virtue is intact.
Oh gosh.
Not when he gets done with it.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Uh-oh.
boy.
But so now you're what part of the country are you in, Zach?
I'm in Texas, so
Oh, I see.
central.
And how is the weather down there in Texas? Is it starting to cool off, or is it
It's
still hot?
no, no, it is burning up over here. I think this week has been like record highs as far as temperature goes.
I see.
It's like
Well,
been 105 degrees like almost every day. So and with 100% humidity. So
wow,
Yikes.
that's not good.
yeah,
Yeah, I live in a sauna as well. I can't wait until October rolls around and starts cooling down. Oh
yeah.
I
well,
love that time of year.
yeah, it is better. I do miss my home in that way a little bit. I'm from Rhode Island, and we have much better weather. Of course, we have cold winters, but I like that. So you know, but it is what it
Yeah,
is.
cold.
The thing is, my children were born in Hawaii. My daughter, my wife, of course, is Japanese, so they love the summer. They love that hot weather. I'm the odd boy out, so yeah. But anyway, we're going to be getting into kind of doing a summary here. We're just kind of killing a little bit of time because Slick Jimmy is a little bit out on. He's not quite home yet from work. He's commuting, so we'll give him a few minutes. Is why I'm killing time here. But
That's cool.
yeah, no, I think it's all good. Our mission today is quite straightforward. I think what's going to happen. Well, I guess maybe it's not. So let me just give a quick little summary, and I will just show the folks, and I guess I might as well start sharing with you guys from the beginning here. No reason not to. All right, so there we go. You guys see what I'm going to show. Now, of course, here we go. Now, of course, you guys know we're in Forgotten Realms. We're in the Moonshea Isles here, and we are on the island of Moray. But the Moonshea Isles have kind of been rocked by several things, and the most important thing here in Serifal, the Eladrin have returned. Now, I don't. I kind of was thinking to myself, maybe I haven't explained exactly what the Eladrin are. In the Forgotten Realms, the Eladrin are kind of the original elves, is what they are. They're very tall, statuesque, mythic Feywild type of creatures, whereas the elves are a little bit shorter and smaller here in Forgotten Realms. But the Eladrin are kind of the original elves. And what has happened is because we had the spell plague here in the Forgotten Realms, which came from the murder of Mistra, the goddess of magic, by who was that? Cedric was his name, or some evil guy was tricked into doing it. The evil god was tricked into doing it. But of course, they were able to reconstitute the. This is the second time the goddess of Mistra of magic has been destroyed. Were able to combine her essence from the original Mistal and Mistra into the new goddess of magic. And after that was all said and done, a lot of weird things happened. Of course, the spell plague itself was very weird. But the Eladrin returned from the Fey Wild, and they came back guns ablazing, as it were. They decided that these islands were originally of their creation. They even claim that they raised them from the sea floor, and that this is their territory. Instead of negotiating or being diplomatic, as you would assume an Eldrin would be, they just started killing people. So there's a lot of chaos going on in Seraphil, and some of our party members are coming up out of that chaos because our monk and our cleric have come, and of course with the tiefling in tow, Slick Jimmy's tiefling, to kind of protect her because Eldrin said, well, she's a bit of a problem, better just kill her. So they protected her by bringing with them, and they've come over here to the Cork, which you guys can see here is on the east coast of Moray, and they're supposed to be building a temple. So here on Moray, there's not as much trouble going on with the Eldrin, of course, but they have their own problems because over in the northwestern part of here, the god Malar, who is a god of the wild, has been seen walking about, and in his wake, he's created werewolves. Great, and they're causing all kind of trouble. Now, of course, we're in the city of Cork here, and last episode there was an attack by ship, interestingly enough, where the werewolves came in and just stole as many women as they could, about a dozen or so, and left. And of course, the Thane is very upset. the Thane of Cork here. His name is Jurgen, and his daughter was one of the ones taken. Of course, these guys were able to through interrogation techniques find out exactly where where black blood, they call the black blood werewolves, are being hidden, and therefore they are preparing to make decisions on what they want to do. Which that kind of brings us up to date. So let me come back over here and let's have a chat with these guys and see what they're thinking. So we're still waiting for Slick to come in, but I think that's surmised everything very quickly, what's going on, what we're doing. So what are you guys thinking? Now, of course, the Thane himself is going to put together an army and he's going to send them out to try to rescue the women, obviously. What do you guys want to do?
Well,
Let's
I
just
think.
abandon them. Let's just go do something else.
Well,
We're gonna try doing some surfing off the coast of Moonshea.
Yeah, let's go do something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry, Bob's being the serious one here, but
no, I was just like I think we agreed that we were gonna like try like tag along with the original group or like strike off on our own and see if we could maybe sneak in or something along those lines. But I'm not sure that's the wisest choice because these are freaking werewolves, man.
Mm-hmm.
They are, and as far as the interrogatee said, there's about 50 of them.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Now, in the chaos ensuing after the interrogation and after this event, coming into the next morning, the the Cork and under the Thane here, they have prepared a little bit. Because they know of the threat of the werewolves, they didn't expect it would come to them this way, but they have been trying to prepare silvered weapons. They don't have enough for everybody, but they are working feverishly this morning and through the night. Actually, blacksmiths are trying to add more silvered weapons because that's a way to you can do straight damage to a werewolf without them regenerating. Of course, magic, especially divine magic, will help you as well. But that's the kind of chaos that's going on in here in the morning because they want to march as soon as possible because who knows how long they'll stay in that port. So that's what's happening right now in Cork. Of course, do keep in mind that there are members of the Guard who are higher level and more powerful than you, sure. But there are also plenty of standard, standing militiamen who are not. So it's not like you guys are super weak comparatively, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have a chat,
Right.
make some decisions.
Okay. Yeah,
What do you guys think?
Of course, there's a head-on conversation or confrontations, ridiculous, right? So possibly going with the party if they'll, if they will let us join, which sounds like they will because we're not pushovers. I mean, we're as good as some of their people, so
Sure.
we could petition to join their group. We could also, I think, if we're going to do any reconnaissance, it would be best to have backup, because that's another thing we were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we want to go along with the Thane's. Well, what it's the company that the Thane is going to send out. But do we want?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to wait that long? Can Bree or bro? What's your character's name? I'm sorry, Zach.
We're on.
Yeah, can Baron wait that long? I mean, his heart is aching. It's got to be hard for him just to sit around and wait.
Yeah, but he's also really hurt still. Don't
Okay.
forget, I'm still technically at only 4 HP.
Yeah, I thought we took him to the temple.
The cleric
we took him
healed
to the
you
temple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so am I good? Am I good to go?
Yeah, you're fine, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We have
I'm back at
magic,
12.
Zach. We're not playing a non-magic game. But now, as far as what the Thane has said, they're marching this evening So they're not waiting very long. They're just trying to get prepared and get as many silver weapons created in that time as they can, which means they're going to be very crude. And of course, they're not silver weapons; they're silvered weapons. So they're going around and getting as much silver as they can, and just trying to put a coating on the as many weapons as possible. They have been working on it, so they had some already, but it kind of just took them a little bit by surprise. So they're working as frantically as they can, but they are marching in the evening because they do know the area very well. They're of course locals, and it's going to take them. Ooh, it's going to be a good day march, so they probably won't get there until near dusk the next day.
Okay. We was the monk and I discussed this, and we were going to talk to um the elders of our monastery before we left. We wanted to know what they wanted us to do.
Well, the cleric and
right.
the monk, yeah, that for sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Okay, so you guys go over to. Of course, we had shown before. I'll show it again here. The here in the city of Cork, up in the northeast corner, the main gate entrance over here, this big kind of parade ground that's in the front, right up against that palisade wall. There, you guys have your little camp, caravan camp set up, where you guys are living inside wagon caravans and stuff as you build your temple, or you're preparing to build a temple. You're gathering supplies and stuff like that. So that's where all your leaders are. Do keep in mind, you guys are visiting. You're not established in this town yet, so you don't have buildings and houses and such. But the leaders, of course, are over there, and the leader's name is, we'll call him Thadric. So Thadric is the lead cleric here. He is a cleric, and meaning class-wise. He's a bit older. He's pushing the 50, but he's the boss.
okay. We'll go up to him and we'll ask him. I'm going to ask him. Excuse me, Elder. Do you have a moment?
Certainly. Come forward.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, you know what's been happening
Well,
with the werewolf attack.
we've been running around healing as many as you.
Yes. Well, sorry, I forgot his name here.
Thadric.
No, I'm talking about the rogue. You're aware that
Boron?
Baron's love was taken as well.
Yes, we know of that.
The thing's daughter, Lacey.
Well, we're also assuming that in taking him specifically, that might give a little bit of time to the Thane, because it would be assumed that they would be asking for a ransom. Would you not think?
One would hope. We would like to accompany the party that is going to reclaim the women that were taken. But I wanted to ask your permission, and secondly, your advice on the situation.
He looks over at his assistant. You guys are sitting in the back of a kind of like a gypsy wagon type of thing. You guys are in, and he looks over to one of his, his right hand man who's sitting right next to him, and the right hand man kind of nods his head, and he looks back at you, and says, "Well, that is interesting that you do ask this. I'm assuming that I have your confidence."
Of course.
Very well. We, of course, come here to Cork in order to build a temple to the great god Corallan, and as we all know. And thank you again for all your hard work. And this is our intention to do that, to move over here and to help support the elves that are in this area that are starting to migrate away from the return of the Eladrin. But we're also here for another reason. This worrisome arrival of Malar walking upon the plain. It's the first god that we have confirmed 100% that is walking again. And I don't know if you've had read your histories and know of the time of troubles.
Of course.
Very well. And this is worrisome to have the gods walking about again, because As much as gods can be a guiding light to our lives, they are often troublesome when they meddle in mortal activities directly. And of course, Malar is a god of chaos. And of course, spawning from him are these werewolves. And we're very concerned about this. So we have a secondary mission here is to keep an eye on it. Now, we didn't expect this to happen so quickly. Our intention was to build the temple. And then afterward, we were going to do some scouting and, try to gather information. That's all we're here for, is to gather information. We're not looking to get directly involved. However, circumstances have thrust it upon us. So it might be quite helpful for you to gather information for us in this particular circumstances.
Well, then this is Providence. Young
Indeed.
Baran is one of the best scouts the city has, and we are willing servants.
Very well. So I would say that the Thane's army will be successful or not. I would assume the amount of men he's planning on taking will be successful enough to at least disperse the werewolves, I would assume. But that doesn't mean ultimate success. I would say that it would be most useful for you to simply try to gather information on what the werewolves' ultimate goal is. There is, of course, a one of their members is being held in the Citadel, as I understand, that you actually spoke to him.
Yes, we did.
Hmm. Was he cooperative?
Against his will, I kind of I look over at the tiefling and I go, we managed to loosen his tongue.
Ah, very well, very well. And but you should go about gathering information any way you can. Maybe simple things like what kind of markings that they're wearing, what kind of language are they speaking amongst each other. Maybe gathering some information and getting there before the army and trying to do some scouting and some infiltration, as it were, to see if you can gain any understanding. Of course, helping
Well,
the Thane is a priority as well.
we can say that he did believe that his foul god is walking the earth among them.
Yes, well, this has been confirmed.
Sadly,
Do you? Is there, when fighting these werewolves? I have to say I'm ill-equipped. Is there anything that I can utilize? Anything you can give me to help me? I beat the crap out of this werewolf, and only to watch him regenerate before my eyes, and then almost disembowel me. And I fear that my bow staff is ineffectual.
Hmm.
If I know we were just going for reconnaissance, but
Mm.
it's highly probable that we'll meet up against them again, and I'd hate to be useless in combat.
Yes, I do believe he can. He looks over at his right hand man. You don't know much about this guy. Um, his right hand man is a guy named Joff, or Jeff, Joff, the old pronunciation. And let me just write this down. So Geoff, and you don't know much about him. He's a pretty quiet guy. He sticks pretty close to the Thaedric here, quite a bit. But he looks over at him and he kind of nods his head and he says to you, which is probably the first time he's ever spoken to you, actually. He says, "Hand me your stave."
Here you are, sir.
All right. He takes your stave and you see him take out of his pocket, which looks like it's like a wooden cylinder, solid wooden cylinder with all kind of runes and beautiful stuff on it. He takes the stave in one hand and the cylinder in the other. He starts chanting. You see some magical energy appear between his hands, and he presses the cylinder onto the staff, and it melts onto the staff where your central holding area is, and replaces it. And he hands it back to you. He says, "This shall suffice.
That's amazing. What did you do with it?
I have made it magical."
Oh, bless you, sir. Thank you.
So, in general, what he's done is he's made your stave a +1 weapon.
Woohoo!
Now, it's not like a normal magical weapon, meaning if that he explains to you that if the stave itself gets broken, which it's very possible it can be, or that actual cylindrical piece gets broken or damaged, it will cancel the magic. So it's not like a normal magic weapon that can handle a lot more damage. This is like a temporary, literally clip-on magic is what it is. But
Gotcha.
it will do you for now. It's and because it's a +1 weapon, it of course lets you hit with +1 and does +1 damage as well. But more importantly, it will damage the werewolves. And the Thaedric looks over at you, cleric. And now, what is your spell list going on right now, Bob?
Right now I have since I let up, I can actually some of these are written down here. I don't actually have them. I just wrote them in here already.
Hmm.
Right now I have bless, cure wounds, bane,
Hmm.
guiding bolt, and inflict wounds.
I see. So those things will, those damage things, of course, will affect the werewolves because they're magical attacks. But what's your weapon? What are you carrying?
I am using a mace.
You're using a mace. Okay. Well, then the Geoff gets up and he goes to the back and he opens up a chest at the back of this wagon and he pulls out a silvered mace. It's masterwork, by the way. So he hands this. They hand this over to you. Now, this weapon basically will damage, physically damage a werewolf because it is silvered, but it also gives you a +1 to hit, not damage though, but +1 to hit because it is masterwork.
Okay. +1.
And Theodric, as he's handing it over, he blesses it himself, in the standard way. So, all right. So we dealt with that. You guys have. He's not really giving you any direct orders, meaning do this and that and that. But he's saying that if you can gather information, it would be helpful.
Coraline's hand is upon us, Father. His light will illuminate our way.
Oh, very well. So let me see here. Now we're still waiting
What, no
for.
special weapon for me?
Well, you're not here. You're not here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not here.
But you in
You ain't one of
particular.
us.
You in particular will be able to get something from the Thane himself, which, speaking of that, you've actually been summoned. A guard has come to collect you, and the Thane wishes to speak to you.
Oh boy, let's go.
All right. So you head over and you follow the guard. Of course, you know this guard. He's the same one you talked to before. He's I don't know what you've decided with your family and stuff here, but more than likely he knows your family. You've known him your whole life. Maybe he's an uncle even. But nevertheless, you go over and you meet with the Thane. The Thane is in the Citadel, and the beehive of activity that's going on in the Citadel is quite insane. You have guards running around, things are getting prepared, horses are being prepared. You're seeing caches of weapons being carried on shoulders. It's just everything is ready to go. The Thane is sitting, not like he is. He's actually sitting down with a couple of his higher level guards on a table, and there's a map of Moray there, and they're kind of discussing exactly their approach. Because understand, we're only going about a little bit less than 30 miles to the south. But of course, it's still going to take an army a good day march to get there, and uh, uh, they bring you up, and he says, Baran, please have a seat, have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
So, what is it you plan to do?
I discussed with our company just the strategies based on what we know, and we got information, that there's almost 50 about these werewolves, and we thought we would try to do a stealth rescue, but that might be a little too risky. What I think we should do is try to figure out more information with the camp, see if there's any weaknesses that we can exploit, and also figure out why they took the women in the first place. If it's like a ransom or something, so maybe there might not even need to be a large battle at hand. to get the women back. But
Well, going from that information, we have been in contact with the other cities that are dealing with them more regularly, particularly Denegal. And from what we understand from the information we've been given, is that they're taking the women because they need them for breeding purposes. Now,
oh lord,
my daughter, however, is a high rank one. They obviously targeted her. They might well be looking for ransom with her in particular. Of course, it might take a few days before they would approach us with a ransom, but we're not waiting for that, as you know. What I would prefer, if you would be so inclined, is to possibly see if your monk friends or your priestly friends might be of assistance to you, and I'd like you to scout. I mean, you are one of our best scouts. We'd like you to get information ahead of the army and bring that information back to us as we march along. You'll be able to move a lot quicker in a smaller group than we will.
it sounds like a wonderful strategy. I will go and request their help.
Very well. How are you equipped to deal with the werewolves?
At the moment, I have nothing that could possibly damage or hurt the creatures.
I see.
I,
What weapon do you use, by the way?
I've got a rapier that I use mainly, and then I also have a crossbow.
Okay. Um, okay. He actually, because he knows what you carry because he knows you, right? So he says, well, very well. Come and tell me, or at least tell one of the guards, whether the clerics decide to help you or not. But just in case, he see him bring up. He puts a quiver of silvered bolts on the table, which there's 20. There's a score. And he also puts up a rapier. And this rapier it doesn't seem silvered at all. However, he says, this should serve you well.
Huh. Thank you very much
All right,
for these.
get to it. Time is tight. Let one of the guards
Mhm.
know if what your intentions are.
Okay.
Now, as you walk away and you're looking at this rapier, as you pull the sheath, you see it glows for half a second, and then it dims as you draw it further out. It's exceptionally well made. This is a magical rapier. It's a rating of +1. It's a
Okay.
fine gift, by the way.
Fine, he says.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I make my way out and towards where where I assume the monks are being, which is at that
Sure.
camp.
They
thing.
are, of course, at the camp in Cork, which is at the northeast entrance over here. Yep, that's right.
Sweet. Go over there. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Before we get to him, I'm gonna turn to Doyle. Actually, what name did you choose for him? You changed it from Doyle, didn't you?
Yeah. It's Faolin
Is that with an F?
or Faolon.
Yes.
Yeah, Faolan. I think it's pronounced Fuelan or something like that, but Faolin works.
It looks like
Perhaps,
Phelan to me.
Yeah. Phelan.
be-
Yeah.
it would be best if we kept our orders tertiary mission here to ourselves until such time as we think it's more appropriate to bring it up to young Baran.
A discretion. I understand.
Well, he did ask for your confidence, so.
Well, then let's do it then.
Well, as you guys are leaving, and with your decision made, you see young Baran approaching actually, and he's carrying, he's eyeing and looking over an absolutely gorgeous rapier.
See, the Thane was very forthcoming with his gifts.
Yes, I have no idea how it'll help. It does illuminate, but I am not certain of exactly what makes it this way. But he says it'll help, so I hope that it'll help.
Well, there is a cleric here, might be able to tell you exactly what it does.
It's
Here,
magic.
cleric. Oh, thank you.
Obviously, it's been enchanted in some way. I would rather not waste a spell determining that for sure, but I'm almost certain that it's some kind of an enchanted weapon. It's
Isn't
quite.
that a cantrip now?
I don't think so. Let me double check. It may be. It is one that I do not have.
Okay.
I was gonna say, is that in your wheelhouse? But
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
it
right.
is.
It's all right. It's not
okay.
important. It doesn't matter. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's actually
Either way,
it is actually a level 1 spell.
It is level 1. Okay. Yeah, no, he'll
But
figure it out.
I'm sure that it's a very nicely crafted blade, obviously from the look of it. So it's quite a gift.
Okay. So go ahead, make your decision, guys.
so Boran, we have talked with our order, and they agree that we should be accompanying you in the Thane's party to go after these werewolves. But they actually suggested that we go, instead of being in the main party, go in and do some reconnaissance and scout this out. And so we thought of you, of course, knowing that you're one of the best scouts in the area. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's very interesting that they suggest that, because the Thane also suggested something similar to me, to ask you both to help me gather more information by scouting the camp and see if there's any weak points or anything that we can exploit, and then bring that information back for a strategy, which I think it would be in our best interest to do.
Well, then the hand of Providence is upon us. We are in agreement on what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we go set out, is there anything anyone needs?
Well, do you want to walk, or do you want to try to maybe procure some horses?
That should be easy to do. But yeah, for sure.
If possible, could I I don't know, sidebar, but go see if I can't get silver tipped darts. I mean, I'm trying to gear up here with that. Is that, or am I pretty much set?
Yeah, it's going to be tough right now because every bit of silver that they can get has been pouring into blacksmiths all morning.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
all right, thanks for the info.
But you do have a weapon that can damage them, though. Now, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, getting horses is not a problem. And Baran, you know that about halfway to the point you're going, there's a little fishing hamlet called Fair Cove that does have a horse station. Of course, all across Moray, there are horse stations set up because back in the old days, it isn't like you think. When we think of the Wild West, a lot of people think I got my horse and I keep my horse, but that's not actually the way things worked in general. A lot of times, especially if you're traveling long distances, you would go to a horse station and trade your horse for a nominal fee and get another horse and continue on. Right, that's a pretty standard thing that happened historically, and of course that's what's happening here. You know, about halfway through, there is a horse station.
Chester?
Yes,
Chester?
yes.
That's been happening a lot today.
Did he just get dropped out?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, good. Oh, geez, wonder why. YouTube, wonderful stuff. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the horse station. So you know that there is a horse station there, and it doesn't cost much. It costs like 10 silver pieces or something like that. To do a horse change, and that which means you could push your horses quite heavily. The army won't be doing that, obviously, but you guys could have that option. Baran knows about this. As far as the other type of activity that's going on, you do have. He's not here yet, but I'll go ahead and play for him. You have slinking up to you alongside of you a tiefling, and she says, "So, what are we doing?"
I don't accept that. You didn't say it all sexy.
So,
Like, does.
what are we doing? Is that better?
Doing
Yeah, there
other.
we go. There we go.
Fine. But of course, Slick doesn't do it like that either. He just speaks in his Slick voice.
Just really
But
quietly.
anyway, so I mean, obviously he's going to call. Oh, there he is. I don't have to speak
There
for
he
him at
is.
all. Hey, Slick.
All right.
Hi guys. I need a link that is sent to my like Twitter so I can get on my my laptop.
Okay, Bill, can you do that, please?
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you. So, Slick, what we're doing here is we just kind of geared up and got ourselves ready to head out. What the party's going to be doing is they're heading ahead of the army to go down and scout out the werewolf encampment to the south. And of course, we assumed your character isn't coming. And Eagle 43, no, this is not BattleTech. Sorry. But jeez. But now, what kind of now you have magic, right?
Yeah.
So you use like magic missile and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And seeing as it is magic, it's going to affect the werewolves anyway, so you're all good. But so the guys are basically gearing up. They're getting ready to get some horses, and they're going to be heading south. So, do you have anything you want your character to do or say before we do so?
Nice to see you, brother.
Okay, there you go.
That's
Hello.
about it.
I think I
That's
was more
about it.
sexy, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to
My-
picture Chester teasing his hair while he was talking. It was
Oh
amazing.
yeah, oh yeah. I might have even been twisting a nipple. It could have been possible.
All right, I'm gonna jump out of my first thing. I'll be right back. So,
Yeah, no problem, dude. So, all right, guys. So we have a plan of attack here, and I'm assuming across the board, you guys are. This is more about scouting than it is about trying to take on a werewolf camp. I'm assuming, although I'm sure Baran is going to be a little bit hard to hold in place if he happens to see Miss Lacey, which
I don't know. We all weaponed up, man. It's time to get cocky. Let's go.
Oh, I don't know about that, dude.
You have fun. I'll heal you up when you get back.
All right. It's a plan.
No, I think he might well be
All right.
dinner.
All right.
But yeah, okay.
If I
So
die,
we'll
I'm rolling a gnome.
you're
Okay.
rolling a gnome, but no, dude, no. I ban all gnomes.
No way.
Yes, gnomes have been banned by the gods. So Oh well.
all right, I should be all right.
That's racist.
That's race. It is
Okay.
racist. You're damn right it is.
You guys are gonna be hating me. I never had a chance to like level up all my shit. So
Don't worry.
we'll just fight this shit out and we'll see what happens. Maybe I could kill.
Yeah,
Who
no, we
knows?
get plenty of people around here that know what's going on. Bob with a second level wizard. I think he gains like another first level spell, right?
He gains another first level spell. He obviously he needs to roll his hit points.
Yeah, yeah. And the hit points
And,
is still D4 plus Constitution.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. I've got
s-
it marked. In the book.
Yeah. So, Slick, just do me a favor and roll a 4-sided dice, please.
Okay.
You're not sharing your screen, by the way.
Sorry, son of a bitch. 1 moment. God. All right.
It's 1d6 for sorcerers.
It is. They changed it. Okay. Roll a 6-sided
Yeah.
dice, please.
All right, 1 moment. Go back to the die. Cool, 6. And I'm throwing right now.
Oh,
4.
awesome. So add 4 plus whatever your Constitution bonus is to your hit point total.
Okay. All right.
All right.
That would be,
And then other than that, you gain another first level spell, which I think brings you up to 3, right? Plus you have your
Yep.
cantrips.
Yeah, that's-
I think does he Bob? Does he also get to add a spell to the roster, or is that 3rd level?
Let me
You
double-
get 2 sorcery points. Font de Magic is a 2nd level feature, but otherwise he's running 3 known spells, 3 first, and 4 cantrips known. So he has 3 spell slots now that he
Yeah,
can
I thought
have.
so. Yeah, that's right. They use
Yeah.
the
Good
sorcerer
stuff.
points. That's right. Yeah.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Yeah.
I'm just going
Yep.
to add one. What would you think is good when I have mage armor and magic missile?
For first level, well, it depends on what you want to do. You could go with is Grease still a first level, or that's probably been a cantrip, I would assume. Let me grab my book right here. It's next to me.
Can you hear my fan?
Nope.
Not today.
Sure.
Let me just look here real
Mother.
quick. Here we go.
5th edition sorcerer spells.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
So he's a sorcerer, not a wizard. Okay. But
Yeah.
they're probably the same spell list, though, aren't they? Pretty sure they are. No,
Yeah.
they're not. Oh, okay. All right.
No.
Let me see. You got these are the things you can choose from. You got Burning Hands, Charms Person, Chromatic Orb, which is kind of like an illusion thing, Color Splay, another illusion thing, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat, which gives you bonuses to your armor class, False Life, which is you can make it look like you're dead. Feather
I
Fall.
think disguise self.
That's not a
That'll
bad
work
one.
with
Yeah.
that'll work with my rogue as well, anyway.
Yeah.
So.
The Ubiquitous Sleep Witch Bolt. Oh, interesting. Yep, no, Disguise Self. That sounds that makes sense for you, I think. Yeah.
And then you have one more is Font of Magic, which is where you get sorcery points.
Yeah.
You get 2 sorcery points, and you can spend those to create a spell slot.
Gee, I don't see
Yeah.
Font of Magic anywhere. What are you talking about?
It's on
It's on page 104. I mean 101. I'm 101. I'm
Can
sorry.
I give myself a cantrip, or is that just like?
Oh no, he's talking about your natural ability. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a character ability or
Yeah.
class ability, I guess is one thing to call it. Like I've got key points, so that like I can do more kung fu. Like so, you get basically what it is. It's like you expend that point or those two points to use one more spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Or can I add or can I use it to add a feat or anything like that?
Nope.
No, feats are 4th level on. Yeah.
All right.
It just converts. You just converting that to a spell slot, and sorcery points cost more depending on the complexity or level of the spell. So right now, it's 2 points to use an extra 1st level spell slot.
Okay. Well, then I'll do Fire Hands.
Well, no, what that means, it's not knowing a new spell. It just means like you've already used your magic missile, then you can use it one more time if you burn your.
I get. So I have a double
You can
hit.
push yourself. Yeah, you can push yourself.
Per round.
And Roger, Bugbear's Basement has always been on Tuesday, dude. But yeah, that's what it means. So awesome. What do you use as your weapon though? Darts, right?
I have darts. I have a light crossbow, and then there's daggers.
Well, let me see here. During the preparations and you walking around stuff, let's say one of the guards, actually the old man that's kind of very uncle-like to Baron, actually hands you a dagger. It's a silvered dagger.
Oh, okay.
Because they're in the process of gearing everybody up and stuff like that. All right, so now we're all set up. We got our party together. You guys are able to procure horses quite easily, and you guys are heading out. Now, the army isn't heading out yet, but it is getting itself well ready, and you guys see that they are preparing, and we have our army getting ready here, as we see. You guys are going to lead out of Cork, and you're going to, of course, head to the south about 27 miles, 26 miles to the south. There is a hamlet on the way called Fair Cove, about halfway, and you guys can switch out horses if you'd like to take that option. It will cost you a total of 40 silver to do that amongst your party. And of course, what that means is you can push your horses very hard for the half day, and then the second half of the day with going the other distance, meaning you can get there way ahead of the army, which is the intention. So
okay, so 4 gold total, or just 4 apiece?
No. It's 40 silver.
40 silver apiece, or for everyone?
Oh no, what am I talking about? 4 silver. You're right. Yeah. No, total. Yeah. 10 silver. It's a silver. Yeah, silver piece. Yeah, 4 silver, and you're just switching horses out. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So, any questions before we head out?
No, we're gonna follow our guide.
All right. So Baron, you're in the lead. You guys take off, and these are these walking type horses as well, which are a little bit smaller. They're not the big war horses that the army use, but that's perfect for what you guys need. These what type of horses, the way they move is quite different, but they don't go as fast in a quick burst as other type of horse, but they can do it all day. So they're perfect traveling horse. You guys are heading out. You head to the south on the main road. Of course, you have to go north first, but you come back around, and you guys are traveling through the day. The army is going to be leaving at nighttime, so you're already so many hours ahead of them anyway. And you guys are heading along. It's quite a nice day, actually. There's no rain or overcast. It's a nice sunny day, and I think we had decided that we're going to be in concert with our current seasons. So it is. The Faerun equivalent of September, which means in this part of the world it's starting to cool down a little bit. Not much. But you guys heading along and you're making good time. I'm assuming you're pressing your horses.
Well, of course we have
Yep.
I would assume that we have a mission, and he's going to be wanting to get out to the location that we were given as soon as possible.
Mhm. Very good. So as you guys are pushing your horses along, you get it's around the mid part of evening, and you come riding into Fair Cove. Now, Fair Cove is a small little hamlet. Baron might even know someone here. For all I know, they do have a close relationship with Cork because it is the closest city town to them. But they of course had no clue you're coming or what's going on, but you guys ride up to the stables, and of course you have to rouse the stable master who was inside with his family, and he comes out, and he's kind of a gruff looking fisherman type, and he comes out and says, "What are you doing at this time of night?"
Hurry, man! We need to get to our destination. We need to scout out this werewolf infestation. Quick, post haste! I don't have time for your shit.
Werewolves? What do you mean werewolves? What are you talking about, young boy?
Excuse me, sir. Forgive my excitable young friend. We are on. I'm completely flabbergasted. I can't even come up with a decent lie after that.
Idiots coming out in the middle of the night, and he starts to turn to go back inside.
We have coin. We can pay.
He turns and looks at you because coin is coin. He says, "I'm assuming you want to refresh your horses. They do look beat upon."
Of course.
All right, fine. 6 silver.
Pay the man.
Yep.
And he goes
I
through.
turn
and-
around. I look at Baron.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb, Baron.
All right, so I pay the what is it, 6 silver for everybody? What is that?
Yeah. Anyway, he rouses out his 2 sons that come out and help. You guys, of course, are doing as well. You're unbuckling saddles, you're taking stuff off, you're switching over new horses. The whole process takes about 15-20 minutes. You pay the man, and you are on your way again. These horses are just fine. Of course, this is a system that is created amongst the towns and hamlets of the east side of Murray, so it's a fair system. But of course, you paid more than you should have, but you irritated the man, so
Yeah,
punishment.
I as we leave, and I turn around and said, "Blessings of Corlin upon you, sir. Thank you." Let's go.
Crazy werewolf people, gosh, and he's grumbling to himself as he goes inside. All right, yeah, just a kind of a quick reminder there, Baron. You might not want to broadcast to the entire countryside that werewolves are running around. Just possibly.
He's not in a sane place right now. He's thinking with his
That's
other
true.
head.
That is true.
Yeah, he's Paul Revere.
I kind of bring my horse up next and say, perhaps keep the werewolf situation to ourselves. I think things will go much smoother for us going forward.
Let's go.
All right. So you guys press through the night.
I'll let him get ahead. I'll let him get ahead, and I kind of sidled back up to the monk. I say, "This is our guide."
Laz just rolls her eyes.
He's gonna run us right into a den of wolves, you know.
He is. He most certainly is.
We need to
Perhaps
slow down.
We should have a talk with him. We should try to perhaps let him let level heads prevail.
Okay. Hey, Paul Revere, come here.
I'm way ahead of you guys. You guys have been sitting back there. I'm out of earshot by this point.
Oh,
Oh no, they didn't stop moving, dude. They didn't stop.
Oh,
moving.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
But
So I
Bran, a moment, please, Bran. I understand your sense of urgency in this, but you're not going to be able to save your lady love if you're dead. So perhaps take a breath and let's pick and choose our movements and our words from going forward here.
Focus your mind, Baran. Make it as keen as your blade or the point of your rapier. Any mistake can cost her life.
Yes. Or perhaps just don't blurt out everything that we're doing.
No.
I will try to keep myself.
We're here for you. We're here for you, Baran. We're here to help you, but we need to keep our heads in this. We are up against an enemy that we are
hopelessly outclassed.
Yes, I was looking for something a little more diplomatic than that, but that is correct. This is an extremely powerful enemy, and we must be stealthful and mindful of what we are doing and where we are going, or we will end up as just another meal for them. So you are our guide, lead on, and we will help you. We will get her back. I promise you this.
You can do this. We can.
I take it.
We believe in
Bran
you.
takes a deep breath, looks you both in the eyes, and says, "Don't make promises you can't keep." And then he starts to go and letting you follow.
I think that went well.
Yes, it went very well. All right. So you guys press on through the darkness, taking this main coastal road, which is well kept. So, and even going down to this area, because there's many hamlets to the south. And of course, it also takes us into the area of the Orkskill Mountains, which there's plenty of trade and such. So it's a good road. It doesn't slow you down at all. You guys press through the evening, and as sun starts to roll up, you find that you've made very good time, because Baran, as you're passing along the road, and you can see the details of the terrain better, because this road, of course, runs along the coast, a little cliff, and this moray is kind of like based on the British Isles, so it's almost like we're kind of riding over Dover right now. So there's these cliffs to the side. You can see the ocean, but you do see up in the distance, probably about, I don't know, 10 miles. Well, not even 10 miles. Let's say 7 miles away. You can see in the distance Green Cove, and the cove you're going to is a small little kind of unnamed cove before that, a good mile before that. So you're probably about 6 miles out right now. So what do you want to do? And the sun is breaking, by the way.
So the daylight's breaking?
Yes.
Well,
you made great time.
How long have we been going now?
You've been you headed out around 2 in the afternoon. So
perhaps we should take a moment, rest the horses here, find a good hiding place for them. I don't know that we want to ride up too close to our quarry. They may hear us.
Or smell
We
us.
should take time to refresh ourselves, have something for our thirst and for our bellies before we go and attack.
Excellent idea.
Very well. Well, now, Baran, you do know that if you're very close to a fork in the road, it's probably only a couple hundred yards away from you right now. And if you take that westerly fork, about only less than a mile in, there's a little teeny hamlet, a little farming hamlet here called Good Haven.
Is this Braun? Is this an isolated hamlet?
Yes, it is, and I think
I think
that
we should.
I think if they haven't been bothered by our current objective, they haven't been bothered by them. That I think would be a safe place to regenerate for the day.
How would we know if they haven't been bothered by them?
Yes, perhaps we should approach them stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's leave the horses a good distance and then creep on in.
Okay. You guys let your horses to some trees, and you head in for the next few hundred yards. And as you crest the hill, because this is very hilly territory you've come into here, as you crest the hill and look down this very small hamlet, it's basically just kind of enough buildings and stuff to accommodate the various farming houses that are lying around it. So it has storage, bins and things like that. It's a very small little town center. It is smoldering.
Oh.
Damn.
I pull my mace. Be on your guards, friends. I look at Baran. I say, lead the way.
I want to know if I see anything that would alarm us. Can I roll for for perception?
You most certainly can. You are a scout.
Yep, let's do that.
Good move.
Oh, dang it. All right, so I get an 8.
Okay. And with what are your pluses there? Your wisdom, perception. You're a scout, so keep that in mind. I think you get a little bump.
Oh, okay. So that's just 9.
It's 9. Okay. Well, as you guys approach this, cautiously, obviously, and you get closer, you can see that most of the structures are blackened. There's still some smoldering coming out, although there's not technically open fire. So this happened quite a while ago, probably during the night, maybe. And as you're coming, you do see many charred bodies on the ground, and the closer you get, you notice that there is the main longhouse, because this is kind of built in a this is not a folk structure. This is a Nord structure, and it's a Nordic longhouse is what it is, and it's been burned down mainly. But the main striking posts at the center have bodies tied to them, and these bodies are partially charred. They're partially missing pieces. They look gnawed upon, but they're twitching.
Are they all male?
They are. You don't see any female
I'm
bodies.
gonna
Well,
run up to them.
some of them are too charred to know whether they're male or female, but mainly what you can recognize as male, yes.
Okay, I'm going to run up to them. I'm going to start cutting them down. Are they alive?
They are alive and twitching, and they're manic in their face. They should not, but as you run up to do that, as a cleric, you've obviously been trained in the Churgian ways, obviously, and there's no way they're alive. They cannot possibly be alive, but yet they are.
Okay, I will stop.
Oh, great.
I will stop short of where I am at, and can I make a perception check to determine if they
Please
are
do.
undead or okay? 18.
Oh, awesome. You're looking over. They are not undead, which is something you certainly would know. You've been heavily trained in that. But what you do notice is they have been attached to the pillars with silver spikes.
Oh.
Hmm.
We need to get them. We need to get them down.
No, wait. These are werewolves.
I know.
Yes, and it seems quite sadistic because they've obviously turned them and they've left them up there to suffer, basically.
We need to end their suffering.
I would question them first.
They're townsfolk. They're not prisoners. They're suffering. We need to stop this now.
Their tongues have been burned in pieces. They're fried.
Yeah, they're demented.
off-
They're out of their minds. They can't heal, right? Because the silver's in them, but yet the spikes were put in such a way as to would not kill them, just keep them from regenerating. This was done intentionally. It was done out of cruelty, and it wasn't. It isn't a message, or is it?
Well, let's
Um,
look for more clues to see what we can find.
You look about. I'm going to end this. I'll take care of this.
Okay.
Chester, can I make a percept? No, let's see, what would that be? That would be a
Religious role?
yeah. Well, I wanted to determine what's the fastest way to dispatch them.
Well, we'll just do a coup de grace on the brain.
Okay, I did. Well, I didn't. Well, because of the regeneration, I wanted to double check on that.
Well, the silver spikes are keeping them from regenerating, right?
Right.
You
Okay.
may use my silver dagger.
I will take her silver dagger, and I will. Actually, I think my way would be better. It'd be quicker.
Okay.
And I will. How many of them are there total?
There are two, one to each post.
Oh, okay. I'll go up to them. I'll say a quick prayer to Coraline, and then I will dispatch them as quickly as possible.
Okay. What do you use?
I'm using the silvered mace, the +1 mace.
Well, the silvered masterwork mace. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. You're able to dispatch them very easily. They're near dead anyway.
Okay. And then I will pull them down.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to find something to cover them with.
Now, as you're pulling them down and looking towards something to cover them, which is, you could find some thatch or something like that. But as you pull them down, you notice the one parts of their body that are not damaged at all are their backs. The skin on their back is quite fresh and normal, but carved into their backs, there is something written in Elvish, actually. And being an elf, you can read it just fine. It says, for you, Cork. And then on the other one, it says, a gift.
Oof.
So, meaning they're well aware that you're going to be following.
Yeah.
They know
we
we're
need
here.
to get. We need. Yeah. Well, they know. Well, obviously they know they knew we were coming.
Mm.
They knew we would send someone, which means they're ready for it.
Well, we need to dispatch word to the
Exactly.
to the Thanesmen.
Well, now do keep in mind that you, from this point until the army arrives, it's just a raw estimation, you're probably looking at 12 to 16 hours.
Yes, I say we continue our scouting. We get some reconnaissance to use, and we deliver that to the Thanes men.
Agreed.
Is that
right.
amicable for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to waste time dealing with the bodies here, or are you going to leave them for later?
Like I said, I just said a small prayer over them. I covered them and just turn away in disgust and start walking away. Did you find anything else? Maybe any survivors, children, perhaps?
Nothing. Everyone is dead. Dead. They're the only ones that were left in a specific situation. Everybody else has been burned, chopped, or gnawed, and it's interesting because no, I shouldn't say gnawed. Those guys were. There have been pieces chopped off of them, though. A lot of these dead bodies are missing pieces.
Once we're finished with this, we do need to come back and perform rites for these people.
I agree, brother.
Is there anything worth in the village? Should we check?
I'm going to pick up the 2 silver spikes.
There are actually 4.
The 4 silver spikes. I'm going to hold them out to anybody who wants them.
I'll take one.
I'll take one as well.
I hold them out to the tiefling as well. Perhaps you should take one as well.
I will take one.
All right. And those spikes are very large, and they would work like a dart, I guess. whatever darts are damaging now. I'm assuming they're still 1d2, but who knows with 5th edition. All right.
I'll be right back, guys.
Sure.
Dart is 1d4 actually.
It is, so they upped it, so it's 1d4. Oh, there you go. So it will work like a dart for you, Slick. Now, you guys are probably about on foot. You're depending on the pace you take, you're probably about 2 hours away from where they are supposed to be.
I would assume we are going to approach stealthily. I'm looking at Baran.
Well, I thought we were going to make camp.
Well,
Oh no,
What a
you
safe
need to do
place
your
to-
job. You have to scout, dude.
we
Alright.
we wanted to find a place to keep our horses and
Hmm.
have a fallback position. That's what I was assuming.
Yeah.
Do you need to rest? Does anybody? I'm
No.
looking at anybody else. Matt, my lady, do you need a moment, perhaps?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Then my brother and I, we are more than prepared.
And let's press on.
All right. So you guys head south. You leave your horses here, or at least near here, and you're heading on foot. You keep continuing to head south. Now, Baran. The good thing is, Baran knows his home area the best, of course. But his whole life, he's traveled up and down this road, and he's been to all these places, so he knows this area fairly well. If we were go more inland, it's more foreign to him. But this area he knows fairly well. So as you guys are heading down, Baran, you know that to get to that cove, if you go straight down the road, it actually comes to the road has a break off that has to go down this kind of cliff pass that winds back and forth. So it would be very slow and you'd be very exposed. However, if you head a little bit inland and you curve back into the east, coming into the cove, you know that'll come in flat straight onto it. Because this cove is it's actually pretty well known type of place. The reason why there's no town here or hamlet here is because the cove itself is actually kind of dug into the cliffside, so it's a covered cove in a way, but it's not really possible to have a town or anything in there. It's quite difficult, which is why it's never been used. But pirates have been known to use it because, like I said, it's a covered cove. It's in the cliffside itself, but you do know that that cliffside breaks down, and there's a sloping through the forest that comes into it. So there's an entrance that comes in, a very narrow one, however. But you know that you either have to take the narrow forest entrance or the narrow winding trail, which there's no way they wouldn't see you coming. So it's not like you have good choices here.
Great. So there's 2 paths we can take.
There are.
One is through the forests, which most likely will be detected and seen before we even make our while we're making our approach. And the other choice is through a cove, in which there could possibly be others using it that might have nefarious intentions. So those are our choices. What do you think?
Well, if one choice is a definite discovery, then that only leaves the other.
But be forewarned, we probably should be prepared for an ambush or something of that nature, because the people that usually use this path are not always of like mind as us.
Well, it can be risky at times to dance in the world. So, Coraline's hand is upon us. He will light our way.
All right. Well, you guys are going to take the forest path and not the cliff path. So you're heading along through the forest, and now you're getting pretty close, Baran. So you're out on point, of course, being a scout. You are we're coming in. You know what you're doing. So therefore, give me your perception check, please.
Since I'm an elf and the forest is where I've actually grown up, can I make a perception check as well?
He's a little ahead of you, is what I'm trying to imply.
Okay. All right, no problem.
I'm really, really bad, and I apologize. Um,
Gotta get some dice, man.
yeah. 13.
13. Okay. That's enough in this particular case because up ahead you see just to the side of the path, you actually see a group of about 3 werewolves that you can see. Well, they're not werewolves, 3 bandits, 3 human bandits, but you're assuming they're part of this group because they're dressed the same. They have the black sashes on with the blood or the blood colored trim on the bottom of it, which is the same thing you saw them wearing in town. So this must be the Black Bloods. And what they're doing is they're kind of cleaning out an area and they're setting up like a stone pit, and they're preparing an area. And the way they're going about it, it's a perfect ambush spot upon the trail that heads in. So obviously they're assuming the army is many, many hours ahead, which of course they are right, and they're not expecting you to be here yet. So they're preparing their ambush is what they're doing.
Okay,
There's
you said
3
there's
of them.
3 of them.
Yep.
Can we take 3 werewolves?
No.
So our options
3
are
Well, I mean,
3
well, I mean, with
people.
our weapons.
Yes.
Well, I
Well,
mean, with our weapons.
it would be dicey. See here real quick. Chester, I'd like to make an arcane roll to perhaps know some of the sorceress spells that would be available to her, because I want to ask her if she has one in particular.
Okay, go ahead.
Making an arcana roll.
For you, yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, yeah. 19.
No problem.
My lady, would you perhaps possess the web spell?
No, I do not.
No, I think that's second level anyway.
Oh, it is second level. Crap.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm looking here. Would you perhaps know the sleep spell?
No, I do not.
Hmm.
I can do mage armor. I can do
Perhaps you should.
magic missile, disguise. And then I do have mage hand. Press.
Is everybody back now?
yeah.
Okay. Perhaps I look at the monk, and I look at them. Could you perhaps disguise him as one of them?
I can try. What's the roll on that?
You don't have a spell for that. You don't have the ability to do that. Yeah.
I have disguise.
It's not disguise. It's disguise self.
It's disguise.
Oh, disguise self.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There is a spell later, but it's not this one.
Like, wow, you got this. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I think that Slick does. Her name is Lazzy, or what's her name?
Laz. You can call her Laz.
Laz. Laz does not have any magic that's going to help you in some manner of subterfuge right now.
Yeah. Okay. I look at Fowlin. Well, the martial one here. What do you think?
Well, we have an obligation to warn the troops, the men that are coming.
Yes. And if we take these men out here and now, it's very
If is the big question. That's not certain that we can do that.
Even if we do take them out, it with the amount of time with the amount of time the army is behind, it's almost certain that they will be either missed or discovered.
Mm.
We need to make a note of this and circumvent it, is my opinion.
Yeah.
Baran?
Agreed. I don't think there's anything we can do that won't
I have
put us at a
no
disadvantage.
I have no doubt that Coral Land will allow us to be victorious if we were to attack these horrible creatures, but it will hamstring our efforts to connect reconnaissance and return attention
Mhm.
to approaching troops. So, Zalazia, are you in agreement?
I will back you.
Then I think we should make a note of this, and I look at Boran and find a way past.
Woohoo!
It's fairly easy to do. They're busy. They're not paying attention. You can head through the brush to the north and get back on the trail further down.
All right. So, do we need a sneak or anything? Is just go through.
Not if you go back farther enough. You know what you are you are a skilled scout, and you know that they're not scouts. They're not stealthy people, so you know the distance you need to get back away, just kind of skirt down into the path. But as you guys are kind of moving away, you notice a fourth one comes up.
I kind of like motion everybody down. So I got Mask of the Wild. I can hide.
Yeah.
I want to. I just motion everybody down because I want to observe this.
How close is he? Or did he just join that group?
He just joined
Ahead
a
of
group, and coming up behind him is yet another one in wolf form that changes as he approaches the working area.
Oh, boy.
Retreat.
So there's
Yeah,
five.
we need to back off.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys head down. You don't need stealth rolls for the way Baran is leading you. You come back and you join back up with the path, and you start heading, very cautiously. It is kind of thin here. You're going through like a crag in the wall of the cliff as you head down. But there are a couple places where you can kind of get off the path and head on the side, and a little bit of the rough brush that is growing here. There is sunlight coming in from above. This is kind of like a very tight little canyon. But you guys head along, and eventually you find yourself, you don't see any werewolves coming or going. You just see that five are up there preparing. And as you guys come along, you do see this place. And you see it doesn't have a name that you know of, but you see it. And as you come in, and just assume this is the best picture I could find. Just assume that these buildings are actually tents. I do apologize. But the boat is sitting right in there. You can see how this cove is kind of covered, like I said. It's not very useful for building a town, but these are tents over here on the left. And there's a whole bunch of werewolves moving along. And you see what they're actually doing is starting to take tents down.
Okay, this is the same boat that they used when they
Yes.
attacked the city.
And it is damaged, but you can you don't know how much damage it took at sea, but you do see there's been some repair. There has been, and there are some of the Black Bloods that are working on repairing the ship as well. So there's a lot of activity. People are running around doing all kind of things. They're taking down tents. They're repairing the ship. This camp is in motion.
They're not going to be here when the forces arrive.
Probably not.
They're getting ready to leave with the booty that they've stolen. I mean, the women that they've stolen, and they're going to.
Choice of words.
And they've left. So they've left 5 men to die, or what?
It's more than likely that to be either to be a picket line
Or an
or
advanced force to keep.
yes, to warn if they do approach ahead of time.
That is 10% of their forces.
Yes.
Is there cover to get us near the ship or into the water near the ship?
Well, when the activity is going on, you guys could probably get pretty close. And seeing as these are the only real problem you're having, to be honest, is everybody here is human, right? So Baran, actually, if he had the sash upon, he wouldn't necessarily stand out. But a half elf, an elf, and a frickin' tiefling, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Now the tiefling can disguise herself, though.
She can. Yeah, but the elves cannot.
Do we want to stop
need to figure
them
out a
from
way.
moving
Yeah.
out.
Yep. We need to figure out a way to disable that ship. So
Is there a way to put a hole in its hull? Do you have anything for that? I can get close to it and try to do a firebolt, but
that might cause too much attention. I think I suggest we try to get try to hit it from below. Actually,
How about this? You're human. They look human when they're not in their wolf form. And are there like human form walking in and out between the wolves?
They're pretty much all in human form. There are a couple of them who are dealing with extremely heavy weight that are in wear form, but in general, they're moving around in human form, which is something interesting about them. Mostly, you've seen them in human form. They're not. You've only seen a few of them wolfed out, as it were. And just as an aside, you do have a stonemason and a forester here with you. And both of them would know right offhand you have nothing to put a hole in that ship, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps I look at Baran. Do you think you could make your way into one of those tents without being seen?
I could try. The only problem would be if I do run into somebody that I do know.
I look at the team and I said, disguise yourself as one of the Black Bloods and see if you can procure a disguise, Baran.
All right.
The only thing is this simple.
Yep.
That's true. But I don't think all of them are werewolves. I think a lot of them are just humans.
Thralls?
Perhaps. Or recruits trying to earn their way to gaining their fangs, perhaps. I don't think there's no way we're going to put a hole in that ship. I don't believe. I don't have anything. I don't have a spell that will do that. I don't think we have any weapons that can make so much damage to it. We're here for reconnaissance, so let's do our reconnaissance.
All right.
Agreed.
So I look at the tiefling and it's like, do what you got to do to disguise yourself so we can infiltrate.
Actually, I'm gonna look at it. Are you in agreement with this? Or do you perhaps have a better idea?
If I can reach the water, I can swim to the side of it and see if I can put a hole.
You can't, dude. You cannot. You guys do not have any equipment to put a hole in that boat. I don't think you understand how strong a boat is. You literally have nothing. Now, if you were higher level, there are spells that could do it, but you don't. The forester is telling you clearly you can't do that.
Disabling the rudder.
That might be an option. Of course, fire might work. Of course, just going in as one of them and looking around the tents and stuff might be a profitable thing to do as well. Fire would probably be your best choice, but I just want to dissuade you from trying to put a hole in that boat. You're not doing it. It's not what you think. Yeah.
If we could find the fuel for their torches, maybe we could use that as a way to get a good fire going.
Perhaps, but I think it's best for us to do some reconnaissance, get a better lay of things before we decide what kind of action we're going to take.
All right, I will go in disguised and have a look around.
Okay, so you can see them from a distance here. You guys are pretty well hidden, and like I said, they're quite busy.
Do you want me to throw for disguise?
No, not necessary. If I have someone who's suspicious of you, we'll do a roll then. But as far as what we're doing right here, it's fine. You use your magic, you chant, and you look like one of these men that are, you even have the little black blood sash on.
Okay.
So you head in. What do you do?
I look at Phelan. I say we need to find a position that we can watch from.
You're already in it.
Okay.
I was assuming that. Yeah. So you're heading in. What do you do, Laz?
I would go down to near the boat and try to ascertain what they are doing.
They are loading the boat with supplies. There's a lot of repair going on the boats. They're taking down tents, although they're taking the smaller ones down. The very large tent that is sitting there at which is that tall building in the picture. That tent is still standing, but the rest of them are in various levels of takedown.
Do they have any barrels of pitch or something like that?
There certainly would be a couple. I would assume they'd be on the boat. You probably don't see them. There might be a couple of wine or whiskey casks about, although those are quite small. There's probably some manner of flammable liquid. Yeah, sure. Well, of course there would be. Yeah.
Okay. Is any of it light enough for me to roll it on the gangplank and take it on the
What's your
ship?
strength?
Not much. My strength is 10.
10. Yeah, a small cask of whiskey, which I'm sure there's one here, there, or rum, or some kind of alcohol lying about. You could pick up one of those, but anything large, you're not strong enough.
Okay. I will pick up a small cask of whiskey or whatever they have.
All right.
And go aboard.
All right, now people are coming up and down the plank, and everyone's busy, and you're actually carrying something in your hand, so you are carrying something, they're just kind of loading stuff in the hold, coming out. You got a bunch of people. They're basically replacing a sail right now up in the top mainsail, and they're also doing some patching on the hull. There actually are a couple of barrels of pitch open, small barrels, for those repairs on the deck here. But there's a lot of work to get this ship up to sailing speed, and you can see from the work they've done, they've probably been working through the night.
Sure. I think I'll go in the hold and see if there's anything in there.
Okay, you follow the line into the hull, and you see that they are just putting all their gear on the boat that they have taken off from before. More than what you're seeing is more than likely they probably. It's a combination. They had the ship light for their raid, and it looks like they've probably gained stuff, maybe from that little hamlet. And who knows? There are other little hamlets nearby as you haven't checked. So they've been raiding, and they've collected their booty, as it were. And you do notice one thing as you're in the hold and everyone's putting their stuff down and heading back out. In the back of the hold, you see a caged area that is sitting underneath a cargo hole. So light is coming down, and inside you see the 12 ladies.
Is there a way that I can go up on deck and signal?
To these guys, you could try, I'm sure. Although as you're coming up, still holding the whiskey, one of the passerby is like, yeah, "Come on, get to it. We're busy. What are you doing? Put that down. Let's go. Get something else."
Okay, I'll do that and go over by the pitch and can I surreptitiously try to light it on fire?
Well, you can light it on fire, sure. I don't know about I don't know about that. But yeah, you can light it on fire if you'd like. You got to stand out really,
take the whiskey,
really.
put it on top. I'm gonna go over to the and put the whiskey on top of the pitch. Then I'm gonna go down into the hold with my head out, and I'm gonna make the shot as I go down.
So you got to stealthily throw a magical bolt. I see.
Basically.
Okay. Well, let's do a couple things here. All right. First of all, give me just roll a d20. Let me come back over here real quick.
Okay, one moment.
Oh shit.
5, 6, 9. I don't know. 9.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. And what is your dexterity?
Shit. It is a 4.
So it's plus 3.
16.
Plus 3. It's plus 3. All right. Yeah. So that's a 13. Let me make a roll myself. Okay, and let's see. To make that firebolt, that is a dexterity attack. I do believe we decided last time. So go ahead and make the attack roll on the barrel.
Okay. All right, one sec. One moment. Throw. 2. Oh man.
Where's all your luck from last time?
Right. All right.
Just
your
piss
bolt.
poor.
It doesn't matter. Your bolt goes flying off, and of course, everyone's like, "What the hell's that? What's going on?" And one of the guys who's standing, remember, there's people moving up and down this hole quite rapidly, right? One of the guys that's standing next to you says, "What the hell are you doing?" And he comes in to punch you in the head. So give me roll a 10-sider. I did 6 last time. I was wrong. We have to roll 10-siders for initiative. So roll a 10-sider, please.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a
Son
1.
of a
Don't roll a 1.
9.
All right. So you can act first. This guy, he doesn't know that you're here. He doesn't know you're a tiefling. He doesn't know any of that. He just sees you shot a bolt, and everyone else sees the missed bolt. They don't know where that came from, but he saw you, right?
How close is he?
He's right next to you, dude.
He's about to punch you in the head.
Yeah.
All right. I'm stabbing him with the silver dagger.
All right.
Oof.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this is escalating pretty quickly.
We're gonna need a new tiefling.
Yep.
We'll see.
Jimmy's not playing around. Get him, dude.
All right. What do I use to stab him?
Yeah,
with?
D20,
20.
dude.
Roll the-
D20. D20.
Roll to 20.
All right. Here we go. Praise. Let's.
20. 20.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh!
Oh.
He's has a look of shock upon his face that you're drawing a weapon on him, but he's able to grab your wrist and keep you from. He deflects your wrist to keep you from plunging in that in, and he takes a punch at you in the head. He hits you, but he only does 3 points of damage.
Okay. My turn again.
Well,
I
you
guess?
gotta write that down, dude. Write that down. 3 points of
Right, so-
damage.
Yeah.
3 points of damage off 14, 11. Okay. I got that in my head.
Don't die. I haven't finished your drawing yet.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Okay, so it's a new round
Oh,
now. You guys, back in your position, you see a firebolt go just flying over the gundles of the ship, and just kind of lands on the side of the cliff. Everybody's kind of looking and asking what's going on. There's commotion going on in the boat. You can't see very clearly from your point of view, but this is a new round. But not only is this guy at you, the other 2 guys who are on this cargo plank going in are trying to wrestle you down as well. So there's 3 of them on you now. But you have the initiative, so go ahead. What do you want to do?
Magic missile.
Okay.
Jump off the boat.
Magic missile to who?
There's 3 missiles, right? Or is it just 1?
The new magic missile is a little bit different. I do believe it is 3d4 or 4d4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How close am I to Elvis? I'm close right next to him, correct?
You are?
Oh.
Is it going to damage me if it goes off next to me?
No.
It's 1d4 plus 1.
1d4 plus 1. Okay, that's what it is. 1d4
Yeah.
plus 1.
Okay.
Isn't it plus 2 now that he's 2nd level?
Let's see. When you cast a spell using any spell slots 2nd level or higher. No, until he gets a 2nd level spell.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
D4 plus 1. I'm going to try to hit all 3 of them.
You can't. You can hit 1. And it's automatic. You don't have to roll the hit. You hit them automatically. But you can only hit 1 and just roll the D4 and plus 1 and do your damage.
Yeah, you can roll. You can roll either.
4.
Okay, so this guy takes 5 points of damage to the chest. It knocks him back. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And the other 2 guys and he's trying to gain his bearings. The other 2
Chester?
guys, yes.
He makes 3 darts.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
He makes
Well,
3.
then-
He makes 3 darts, but they all have to hit the same creature.
All right. Oh, they all have to hit the same creature. Oh, okay. So roll that 2 more times, please.
One.
Okay, that's 6.
That's
1. Gee, Christmas.
Actually, it's +1 for each one, so that's actually 4 more points of damage. So that's
Yes,
9.
I know. It's okay. Either way, you hit this guy, and instead of him trying to gain his wits about him, you actually blow a hole through his chest. He drops down dead. The other two guys are now extremely furious. What is your arm class, please?
Not much.
You should have lied and said that
deep,
he was trying to blow
11.
something.
11. Okay. These guys, one guy punches at you, the other guy draws a dagger at you, and let's see here. Okay, that's 1, 2, 5, 6. 6 points of damage. That's most of the damage is coming from the dagger, by the way.
Okay,
As
so
he kind of rakes you across your ribs. That's 6 points of damage.
I'm at 5 points. I'm at 5 points right now.
Okay. So what are you going to do now? More people are starting to come up, and they're all looking directly at you. You guys see that more people are piling onto the ship from your distant point.
Do they still have hold of me?
Oh, bloody hell.
Well, no one has a hold of you yet, but you're being
I'm going to
surrounded.
jump overboard if I can make it.
Okay. Well, you can try. So go ahead and how should we do this? You don't have any of those kind of extra skills for that kind of thing. So you're just going to say you make a run for it. All right. And you got to run to the ocean side, therefore the port, the starboard side, or you got to run toward the port side where everybody is.
It's the ocean side. Everybody's
Okay.
there.
All right. So you just you don't have to do anything. You're just making a run, and I have to see if these two guys get a hit on you. One actually fumbles, and the other guy doesn't do much better. So one guy goes to take a swing at you, but you kind of dodge between them, and he actually hits his friend, and his stab at you with a dagger completely misses. So you run, you get to the side, you dive into the water. All right. Now you're in the water, and as you're kind of swimming along, you see a couple of guys are frantically trying to put bolts in crossbows. So it's a new round. What do you want to do, Slick?
Dive
Okay.
as best I can.
All right. So you dive and you swim. Now, the far side is going to take you several rounds to get over there. I'm not going to worry about any kind of swimming rolls and such because you're not heavily armored or anything like that. But eventually you do make it to the other side. Now, you guys see that several of these bandits, these black bloods, are kind of running along that little coastal ridge. Let me bring that picture back up. They're kind of coming off the boat and they're running along this edge of where the water is here. But luckily for Jiminy, there's actually water between them and the other side, where Jimmy's going to be on the other side. Now, it's going to take him.
How far am I from the rudder? Just
you're quite a way away from it. You're swimming to the shore, dude.
Okay.
Okay. So you get up here in this little forested area, Slick, and you have to tell me what you're going to do. These guys are over there trying to take some crossbow shots at you, but they're a little bit far. So you're sitting on this other side here in this little forested coastline, and there's no way for you to get back to where they are. Unless you swim back, but of course there's a whole bunch of people looking at you. Well, now you're in the forest, so you're a little bit hidden. But what are you going to do?
Well, I got to take cover, but I got to help my friends. So take a shot of the firebolt at the rudder. See if I can light it on fire.
Okay. Might be easier to. Well, go ahead. Roll a d20.
I'm gonna get killed here. All right, fine.
Can we interject action at all at this
No,
point?
you can't. You miss completely. It goes flying off and bounces off one of the stone stalactites here, and they do take a couple shots at you. You're at long range though, and several of those bolts just come somewhat near you. One of them does hit you though, however, and I'm assuming a bolt is still a D4.
Let me double check. I think so. Crossbow.
I mean, you still have fate points you can use, right?
He does.
Yeah, he does.
So don't forget.
What kind of crossbow is he using?
Just a normal crossbow, light crossbow.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's D4.
It's oh no, crossbow light is 1d8.
No, really?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
simple range weapons, crossbow light 1d8.
All right. So, yeah, that's not good. You take 3 points of damage. Are you still up?
Yes, I got 2 points.
Wow.
All right.
Even a hand crossbow is 1d6.
Wow, they upped it. They made 5th edition more deadly, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's cool. All right. So, it's a new round. You guys been watching this chaos going on behind you. You don't know what's happening. Before I go any further with Slick, what are you guys doing?
Okay. Well, I thought I was going to
Shaking
go
our
down
heads.
with Slick. I thought I was going to go down with Slick, and I didn't realize that he was just going to go, poof, just go right into the action. So I hung back with the guys, but I see an opportunity because all this commotion and Slick has taken their focus that I can possibly kind of go and sneak in
Okay.
and do some stuff. So all that chaos is going on, and I saw him go onto the ship, so I proceeded to go into one of the tents
All right.
to kind of see what's in those tents.
There's only one tent that is
I turned
still.
the fan on, and I turned the
Okay.
fan on.
Make that-
Everything was going so well.
Well, there's only one tent that is standing completely. The other ones are in various states of takedown. So we got to
Okay.
go into one of the ones that are taken down, or into the one that's still standing.
The big one that's still
Okay.
standing.
Now, as you approach this, and this chaos is going on, as you approach this tent, a really big guy, I'm talking about like a 7-footer, comes walking out of that tent, and he starts yelling like, "What the hell's going on around here?" And you see some guy come run up and says, is talking to him, because you're right there, and he says, "Sir, there's an infiltrator." And he says, "Well, go bring him to me." "He's on the other side, sir." "Well, take a rowboat then." What are you going to do?
Great. I'm gonna look at some people that are also passing by and say, "Let's get the rowboat ready to take it across," and try to maneuver myself so that I'm out of the line of sight of the guy, so I can proceed to the tent.
Oh, no problem. You actually, there's a back entrance to the tent. It's kind of like a long hall type of tent. So there's actually 2
Okay.
entrances. You head in here and you see that there are tables that have maps on them. There's a large bed in one corner. You see that there are several actual women moving around here, and some of them are cooking, some of them are packing. There's probably about, I'd say, maybe 8 women in here that are working, either packing or cooking, and that's all you see in here. You don't see any kind of treasure piles or anything like that. You don't see lazy at all. And Oh, and by the way, you do hear him barking more orders out front, and he says, "Go up and check the ambush point, see what's going on." Now, you guys in the
Okay.
back hear this as well, and you see 2 of these bandits start running up the trail. Now, you guys are fairly well hidden where you are, but they're going to come very close to you as they pass by. So keep that in mind.
I look at the Palon and I say, "I can hide here. Can you?"
I am not that sneaky, brother. I think.
Perhaps you should.
Oh, how far is the tiefling?
Oh, the tiefling
She
is
on the other-
nowhere near even close to you. She's literally on the
Okay.
other side of the cove. But if you guys stay still and get down, you should be fine. Baran did leave you in a fairly secluded area. You just gotta be very cautious and stay down.
Yeah. Well, Mask of the Wild, I can hide in even minimal cover. So
There you go. You're fine. But I'm not. I'm just telling you. You need to be cautious. Is all I'm saying. I mean, don't run around. Don't stand up and have conversations. Pay attention to these guys coming towards you. And what I'm really doing is I'm throwing a wrench in your action. Is what I'm doing. Right.
yeah. Okay.
So let's come back over to Slick. As this is all going on, Slick, you are near dead. You hear a shout for rowboats. What would you like to do?
I could hide.
Well, you don't really have those skills.
Is there any cover?
There's a forest, but you're about to be, these rowboats are going to come over. There's a couple of them, and they're going to be full of men. So when seeing as you're not a stealthy person, you're not going to be able to hide.
Shit. Can they see me?
Well, unless you've moved, yeah, they can. But I kind of assuming you ducked into the forest a little bit. Otherwise, you'd be still getting hit by crossbow bolts. I'd assume you're
Right.
not
That's...
suicidal, so.
Well, can I see them?
You see them getting boats on the water and starting to, or at least getting in the boats that are on the water and starting to come over. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I do my best to go into the woods. I'm going to be leaving a trail though, because I'm probably bleeding all over the place.
That's probably true. So, you're going to make a run for it. So, you need to give me a direction. Now, you aren't a scout and you are a female. I do apologize. But are you going to try to head south or east, or those are your two options? And yeah, I said it. Come at me.
Where's the best cover?
You have
Where's
no
the
clue,
best
dude.
cover?
You do not know this area. You were not a scout. You have no idea. You're in a forest, so it all looks the same to you.
Is east more towards where the guy
Well, east
my
would
friends
take
are?
you back toward the main road. South would take you. You don't really know.
Well, I'll go east then.
All right. So you start heading east, and we'll deal with that because these guys are going to be looking around, and you heading east, they might eventually be able to track you. But if you keep going, you're going to hit that main road, and yeah, because you do have a good jump on them. So we'll come back to Slick later. This is interesting the way this has turned out. All right, let's come back to Baron. What are you doing, dude?
All right, so I look in the tent, and there's nothing really going on, but there are maps.
There are, yeah.
And that might have important information not only as to where they might strike next, but to where they are going, which could help people. So I make my way over without trying to interrupt any of the ladies moving around. And are these ladies the werewolves too? Are they in bondage at all, like slaves or anything, or
Doesn't
are
seem so.
they? Okay, so they're probably part of the camp. Is there any? Yeah, I tried to stealthily. How many documents are on there? Like, is it just a map, or
Well, now hold
is
on a
it like?
second. You either walk in straight up to the table, confident like you belong there, or you try to stealth in, and if you get seen, you're caught. So which one are you going to do?
I walk in like I own the place.
There you go. Okay, good. So you walk up to the table, you look on here. There is one map that is open and held down with the little bronze trinkets, and there's two other rolled up maps laying on the table next to it. And what you see is a map of Moray. Now, let me bring this up here real quick. So hold on a second. Here we go. You see a map of Moray, and on it they've marked out several little points along the eastern coast, and you see that there's another mark up here. You see where the M is? To the west of that, there is they have a marking as which looks like an important port for them. And then the only markings you start seeing along the eastern coast, and of course Cork was circled.
Okay. And how big are these maps? Are they like full size table maps?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they're a chart map, a typical chart map for a boat. So I'd say they're probably about 3 feet by 2 feet, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna try and steal that. I jot. I see. Do I have anything to jot things down with? Hold on. Is there anything in my thieves' tools I can use to jot down?
What is it you want to do?
Like
Tell me
notes?
what exactly what it is you
I
want
want
to
to take I want to take note of any place they've marked particular, so I can basically just go back and inform the
I see.
people.
No, your character wouldn't have anything like that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I try to remember as best as I can.
Sure.
can do a memory check. And then I start making my way towards the back where I came in to avoid that big guy.
Well, the big guy is still outside barking orders. The ladies could care less that you're in here. They're doing their thing. You head out the back, and what do you want to do now? Now, you two guys sitting up on the path, you see three guys run past you, and they start heading up the path. They don't pay any mind. They're full run as they head up the path to the ambush point.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the. I gotta keep pulling up the thing to remember your name. Phelan. I think we should wait for the scout and then try to find Lazia if she's still alive.
Well, that was three of their men just went past us.
Yes.
5 of their men.
That was 3 of their men, and there were 5 already down there. That's 8.
And you know there's one down. Now, Mr. Cleric, you certainly noted, because you could see that happen. The magic missile, 3 magic missiles ripping through a guy's chest. You could see that. And you, being a cleric and a person who knows anatomy and stuff like that, you know right well that was not a werewolf, because he took him down with a magic missile.
Right. I think these are the humans mixed in with these werewolves. So that's something that they're going to need to know, that the forces they're going against aren't as powerful as they may seem. But we can't leave without Baran.
Or our tiefling. Our wizard what happened to her?
We're going to need Baran to find her if she's still alive, and then we need to make our way to the. This is a complete
anger.
Well, it's kind of funny because your tiefling has put quite a bit of distance between you and her, actually.
I know.
So while they're all just shoveling around this, I want to know. So I've come out the back. I'm looking towards the boat. I want to know what the traffic's like on the boat now that there's been so much commotion. It's probably drawn a lot of people away.
It has actually delayed them because mainly they're spending their time taking the dead body off. And they're treating it quite respectfully, by the way. They didn't just throw it in the water or anything like that. They're taking it off. They've wrapped it. And you see that by this time, 2 rowboats have hit the other shore. And you see about 10 men have gotten off that rowboat. So here where you are, there's still a good 3 dozen people moving around.
Okay. I think our best approach would be to retreat. I thought about going and trying to complete the mission that the tiefling set out, but I think that would just cause more problems, and also it'd probably kill the people that are in the boat. I don't know that they're in the boat.
No, you don't.
But just.
Well, you can assume though, because they're not in.
Yeah, I get it. Because so I'm assuming they're in the boat, and I don't want to put them in any danger. So my best bet would be get out there and regroup with our people to complete our mission of scouting out, and hopefully we can somehow find the tiefling.
Okay. Now, you do notice that the big guy is standing on the shore, and he's barking orders to the people on the other side. He says, "Find her. Have you got her yet? Or got him yet?" Because he doesn't know it's a female, sorry. And they're all focused on that or the dead body, which might strike you as being rather stupid. But nevertheless, you head yourself back up. You get up that trail quite easily. No problem. No one stops you. No one bothers you. And you get up to where they are. You stealthily move yourself in. You're capable of that. And you're standing next to your compatriots.
What the hell?
Wait, why are you angry at me? I'm not like I went on the boat. Our friend is in really big trouble, and we need to get out of here, and we need to go find her.
Oh God.
Period. So I suggest that we use my knowledge of whatever surrounding we're in and stealthily make our way to the main road clearing, because that'd
Do
be
you think you could track her?
Oh, of course.
Now,
Are you sure?
I got us here, didn't I?
Okay. Lead the way. God. Oh God.
all right.
As I said before, I was the one who blew it.
Now, you guys have two options. You can either try to head back up this trail, which you know might be a little bit more dangerous now because two guys just went up to warn the ambush point, right? The forward-looking point. So who knows who's going to be moving up and down that narrow canyon, and it's too narrow to really hide in. So if you run into any of them, that's combat for sure. Or you could head on this, if you look at this picture I'm showing, on the right-hand side, you could skirt in that little forest area that's sitting over here, but you would have to swim to the other shore. But you could probably get to a point on this far right heading over where you could do that swim without being seen so easily.
All right. I
That
suggest
would put us closer to her, right?
Yeah.
Say that again?
That would put us closer to her.
Yes, it would. It would. Or you can head up the path you came down, but like I said, that's a bit tenuous right now.
As
What
well
do you think?
suicidal, I think. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go across.
All right. So you guys move along that edge and you head up to where you can get into the water and swim across. Now, is any the cleric? What kind of armor are you wearing?
I am wearing scale mail.
You are wearing scale. You probably want to take that out and strap that to your backpack.
Yep, that and my shield.
Yeah, you want to strap it all on there and kind of drag it behind you. You guys get in the water and you swim across without much problem, and you get to the other shore. Now, once you get to the other shore, you hear a lot of commotion in this forest. There are 10 dudes moving through this small grove looking for a tiefling. So now you're on the other side. What do you want to do? You could head deeper to where the guys are, to the basically, if you look on this picture, to the left, where she was last seen, or you could head up either straight or to the right, and you see to the right there's a little cliff path that is starting to head up the side of the cliff. And of course, Boran knows that this is going to bring you up eventually to the main road, although it's many miles down from where you guys came in. So what's your choice? Because you don't know where the tiefling is, right?
What do you think?
We need to get.
Which way did the rowboats go, Braun?
They're to your left. If you look in this picture I have up there to the left, and they've landed on the little shore there, and there you can hear them moving through the woods and shouting at each other and looking
to the
for
left
her.
of that far side of the cove.
So you got to head toward the Black Bloods.
Doesn't sound like a great
I would
idea.
say the Black Bloods. I would say deeper into the forest.
So you guys want to go straight, or you want to head up that path, that cliff path, which you know is going to eventually come to the road?
I would say up the cliff path.
Okay.
But I'm looking at the rogue, at the scout. What do you think? I mean, you know this place better than we do.
As long as I think the cliff path would be fine. It's gonna take us a little bit, but we can make it. And if we get to a main road, hopefully from there we can track her down.
Chester, can I make a survival roll?
For what?
To determine what would be the best direction.
No, that wouldn't help you in this situation. No. Now the scout can make scouting rolls as you go along, which I'll have him do. So.
Okay.
Fun
All right.
stuff.
All right. So we're going to the right. Yes.
I thought we were going to go up the path,
which is to the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then that's a yes.
Okay, so you guys head up this path. You're starting to move, and of course, you're moving further and further away from the Black Blood bandits who are moving around this grove looking for her. Now, as you guys are heading up this path, Baran, give me a scouting roll, please.
How dare you? Let's do this. Oh, 20.
All right. Well, mark down a fate point, of course. Keep that in mind. And of course, the experience that would be a hunter experience right off for that. Now, as you're heading up this path, you're trying to move at a fair pace, but you are trying not to be seen at the same time. But as you move this path, you see little drops of blood, really fresh.
Real quick, didn't Slick Jimmy get like 3 fate points last game?
He did.
Yeah.
Okay, you can use those to re-roll if you botch a roll.
That's true. But
Okay.
we're past that now.
Yeah.
But you see fresh blood on the trail, Baron.
Oh, this fresh blood, it looks like it could be our compatriots. Maybe we should follow it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you guys are following that. Now, Slick, you are moving up this trail, trying to get out of here. You hear footsteps coming up behind you.
Well,
I'd say you magic missile it. That's what I say you should do.
You should wait.
Yeah, don't listen to the DM.
I just
should roll over.
I will wait to see who it is, because I mean, there's nothing I can do if it's the my pursuers.
True.
Well,
it's not your pursuers. It's your friends.
All right, because
and they come.
I don't want.
Woohoo!
Yeah, but I mean,
jerk.
I probably have my firebolt ready. So
fireball. If you had a fireball, you'd use that shit by now, dude.
No, I have a firebolt.
Firebolt. Yes, that's a cantrip.
That's my cantrip.
All right. Well,
you see her like that. I was like, "Are you going to kill me too?"
No. I'm
she
sorry.
is
I'm sorry
badly.
about the debacle.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. She is badly damaged, though.
Okay. I'm going to throw cure wounds on her. Mm-hmm. Let me go ahead and roll this. It would help if I actually had the dice out. Actually, how badly damaged are you? How many points down?
Extremely bad.
I'm down to 2.
I mean, how many? 2 from what?
2 from 14.
From 14. Okay. Let me get my D8 out here. You get 8 back.
Okay, so I'm back to 10.
Okay, you're feeling much better. Any bleeding that was going on has stopped. Wounds have sealed to a point, and you're fine for moving. You're not restricted at all. Now you guys head up this trail, and you eventually get yourself up to the road, and it's sitting about, I don't know, probably about 8 or 9 in the morning. It's still quite early.
We need to intercept the party.
Okay.
I look at the scout. Lead us in that direction.
Yeah. So you guys would head back to the little destroyed hamlet. You can get your horses, and you can head back up the main road toward the oncoming army. You guys are moving along doing that. The tiefling is nursing a little bit of wounds still, and you guys are licking your wounds, emotional ones anyway. And that's where we're going to stop it today. We're going to lock it right down there. Now, goodness gracious. Okay, so awesome. There we are, guys. We found the blood, black blood.
You guys have found out that in the heat of battle, when she's impetuous.
Yeah, I would say that. I would use that word. Yeah, impetuous. Yeah. But
it's not just me. It's not just me. She's impetuous.
That's okay. So. Actually, it's very interesting for me because I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just putting the situation in front of you. And that situation could have been handled in many, many ways, actually.
Whoa, you're not telling what to do. Magic missile them. Jared, do it. Magic missile them.
That is called comedy, Zach. Interesting approach. So we'll pick it up next time here, guys. We do appreciate you guys hanging around and seeing how our story is developing, and seeing how our characters are doing. They're starting to, I think, nestle into their characters a little bit better here. And no one's dead. We had 2 episodes in a row where we almost had death. We were very close to it.
Yeah.
Who was zeroed out last time? I think it was the monk.
Nope.
I got
no,
hit pretty good, but
Mark was down pretty badly, but it was Baran who was down to 0.
It was Baran that was down to 0. That's right. So I've come close to taking one of these 2 of these guys out, but not yet. Not yet.
better
But
luck
then
next
again,
time.
well, I didn't walk into a complete camp of bandits and try to set their boat on fire either.
She was trying to help. She was trying to help the women
to die. Yeah.
She just wanted to see what she could do.
Yeah, I did think it's funny that the girls are on the boat, but you decide to light it on fire anyway.
Yeah.
I thought that was wonderful. I was like, what exactly does this mean?
She was going to go back and get them out.
Oh, I see. I see. In the
Start
chaos.
The fire, and everybody will be in there. And then she has prestidigitation. She's going to go try to open up that door.
Sure.
And
Good
get them out. But apparently her aim was really off.
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I think that probably would have been time to use a fate point. I think that the guys mentioned it a couple times, but I think I would use the fate point on the firebolt when you're in combat at least, or even the original one, right? Because you had 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, technically, you could have re-rolled 3 times. Technically.
At least I killed a motherfucker.
You did kill one. You most certainly did. So.
Okay. Took one down.
How much experience for the guy I killed?
10. No. All right, guys. But that's enough for today. Thank you very much for joining us. It was a lot of fun. Do come back tomorrow, where we'll have our comic news today, of course. And later in the evening, we'll have at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, on Black Leash Universe is the Drawn and Quartered Pro Edition. Definitely go over there and support Howl Comics, Alan, who did absolutely killer Captain Crunch last week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Anybody have anything they want to say for out of here?
Thank God for the cleric.
Yep.
Thank God
Thank
for
you
the
for
cleric. Okay. All right, guys. Well, later.
Bye.
No, see you later, guys.